Hi, my name is Del Warren, Vice President of the Kegel Training Center, and I'm here with Kelly Kulick and Liz Johnson, and we're talking about the Kegel Navigation Series patterns. One of the newest patterns in the Challenge Series, Abbey Road, is 3.5 to 1 at 40 feet. That's what the numbers indicate, and we want to talk about this as a newer pattern. There's not a lot of information about it. And at 40 feet, it plays as a medium pattern, and as we've talked about, again, using the formula that we use at the Kegel Training Center, pattern length minus 31, 40 minus 31 is 9. That would put the exit point, in this case, at the 9 board at 40 feet. And I have here in my notes from John Janowitz that because of the load structure in this particular pattern, the exit point can play anywhere as far right as 7. And as far as inside to 11, and some of that is dictated by whether or not your bowling center has a very defined ball track. If it does have a defined ball track, you'll be able to play inside on this pattern and throw it more to that 11-10 spot down the lane. But I've also bowled on this pattern at the training center, and I know that we can also play outside. So like most medium patterns, there is a variety of places to play. And there's a variety of tactics to use depending upon your style and where you like to get comfortable. So let's first start a little bit about talking about with Kelly. How do you normally attack a fairly a medium pattern like 40 feet, which everyone sees quite a bit? What are some of your strategies? For example, what would be a good benchmark ball and a good benchmark layout for a medium pattern?
Well, for me, 40-foot pattern, medium amount of oil. I'm probably going to be able to start somewhere inward, somewhere around the third arrow, which is my comfort zone anyway. Benchmark ball that I used before would be my game breaker. And really, just to make it predictable and be really smooth, I might just use like a label type drilling, maybe a pin into the ring thing or CG kicked in, just so I can see the predictability of the pattern as it breaks down and get a really definitive read on the ball. Or I might just use maybe someone slightly stronger, again, maybe 4.5, 5-inch pin down. Surface usually around 2,000 or 1,000, and just really try to control the pocket out of the gate. Once I see how that plays, I'll know that most often I'm going to have to chase it in. Very seldom will I chase it right, but I'm going to chase it in over time, and most likely ball up to something stronger, maybe a little bit taller pin, which allows me to circle the lane a little bit more. But definitely the game breaker, smooth surface out of the box, and something that's controllable and predictable to read.
So you'll go start with maybe a medium ball and actually go to a stronger ball for going through the first transition.
Most likely. I mean, that's normally how we try to play, unless I see something different. But maybe a stronger ball with a little bit weaker pin, 5.5-inch pin more towards my middle finger, maybe down low. Again, I'm seeing this as something that you want to control, so I'm not going to give up the 1-3 pocket. The 3-pin will definitely be my focal point. I don't want to make my angles too wide, and I want to keep my hand very, very calm at the bottom of my swing.
Great. Liz, I know we see medium patterns quite a bit. This pattern at 3.5 to 1 medium length is really what I love about that is it's going to be a little bit easier than sport, but still there's going to be a variety of places to play. So as the three of us actually have 3 completely different styles, there'll be somewhere that we can kind of get into our A game. So how would you normally attack something like this?
Probably take something like a mission, 1,000, 2,000. With like a 4.5-inch pin and probably start out right around 8 to 10. Something that'll control the back end a little bit, not get too far right, but also I use the practice session to play the second arrow, use the third arrow, and see what carries down the best, where the hook is, where most of the oil is, and try to get a read from there, and maybe go on to like a taboo, something that has a little more over-round hook. To if I have to go even a little bit deeper.
But generally speaking, on 40, do you feel like most of the time you can play around the second arrow?
Yeah, that's where I usually like to start, between 8 and 10, right around track area, and hopefully not, if the case, not have to move any further left, but maybe just go to a weaker ball and stay in the same area if possible.
Yeah, I know you like to do that a lot. You like to stay, what you say, on top of it, and do all you can to stay out around that second arrow, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 area for as long as you can, either by changing your hand and or the ball, so that you can kind of play there until the lane actually forces you to go in. I myself, you know, I have a mission that's probably 45, 4.5, 40 that I've actually used on this pattern, and I like to use it with 4,000, and it just really allows me to play that 12 to 8 area, 12 in the front part of the lane, sliding about 20, 21, and just throwing medium speed, medium hand, kind of like how I like to throw it, and that's really on the fresh kind of my favorite part of the lane. And I think a lot of folks are really going to like this pattern because, again, it allows a variety of players to play. And again, it's right around that second arrow where we all grew up bowling, and where when you do bowl in a house shot, that's where most of the house shots set up. So this is going to be a fun pattern for folks to bowl on. It's going to be certainly a lot more difficult than a house pattern, but it's in that challenge series range where it is going to be a little more forgiving and a little bit easier to find the pocket. So thanks again for your time and your input. It's certainly very insightful, and I know that folks will feel comfort that there is a variety of places to play, especially on medium type patterns, and just to watch your ball and make the best decisions that you can.